Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is The Last Garden by Matt Christianson and Chris Rowlands. They sent me along a copy of the final production version. I played a really early prototype of this and actually gave them some feedback at the time, and so I'm in the special thanks in the credits. I should mention that, but other than that early prototype feedback, I haven't seen it. And so this is an interesting one for me. On one hand, The Last Garden is a really tight sort of min-max dice manipulation game where players are trying to fill up, using action cards of different sorts, fill up different gems into different areas on this board with their robots and its worker placement. And you use worker placement for scoring. You use the cards for manipulating the dice and stuff. But what you're going to be doing is you can score on this board given the amount of gems. You can score on this table based on the number showing. So if there's a bunch of ones, you could score on the one. Or you can score for majority of a certain color. It's a really well thought out, well designed, sort of small indie game that works. But at the same time, the production value is through the roof and sort of huge. I mean, it's got this great big box. You know, other than the board, there's not a whole lot in here. So you've got a giant box. You got this incredible bag, but you need to see what the gems are. So it's really sort of, these gears are the victory points, really sort of like just for keeping your stuff in. And I don't remember I don't know where the Kickstarter was, but I don't think it was like a huge Kickstarter. So it's a little bit odd because you sit here playing the small, little, tight, thinky, you know, what I'd consider a gamer game. And yet it sort of feels like it's got some grandness that feels a little bit off. Nothing wrong with it. It's still just as fun, but it also feels like this would have been fun in half the size and half the box. So I don't actually know the price point on that, but that'd be something to consider. This is a small, thinky, dice manipulation, worker placement, turn over turn, trying to score the most points type of game. It works. The components are fantastic. These little robots are really fun. And the theme is really cool. You're this final woman on Earth, and you're like the robots helping her plant the garden and all this stuff. It works. My only other criticism is the backs of these cards are fantastic. These icons are cool. The board is gorgeous. But then this little UI they have over here, sort of this retro look, feels not quite on par with everything else. So that sort of took down the production value. Again, the game's very fun, very thinky, very nicely done. Every decision matters, and it's got a good give and take. At the same time, in some ways, it just feels a little bit smaller than what it is presenting itself as. Nevertheless, it's certainly pretty. Beth Sobel's fantastic art, and the gameplay is, in fact, solid. I don't even remember what my feedback was, but playing it, I didn't have any more, so they must have used some of it. I don't recall, honestly. So, worth giving it a play and checking it out. This is The Last Garden. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks. Bye.